Welcome back. Today we're going to look at an extension cord variable power modulator. Yeah, I'll come up with a better name for it later. So what I'm going to do is I took a GFCI power plug and I got a dimmer switch that'll do up to 600 watts. Fancy. And I'm going to mount it in the box, put a fancy cover over it, and run an electrical cord to it so that we can power it and use that to control the power going out to everything else that we want. Alright, so first what we are going to do is take some of our fancy 14 gauge wire here. Take our GFCI outlet and our fancy dimmer switch. Remove from packaging. Carefully, because if you slip, then I'm going to be showing the next video on how to stitch yourself up after being mortally wounded with your own pocket knife. So, take both of them. The terminals under this label are for feeding additional receptacles. Don't need to do that. So, what we're going to do is we've got 2 in on either side. So, you take pieces of this 14 gauge wire and we're going to mate them together so that one of them powers the other. So that you cannot get power to this outlet without getting power through the switch first. Ground. In, screw in, oh yeah, screwdriver. Fancy screwdriver! Tighten them screws. Make sure you have a solid connection. I know technically you should go through and use 2 different colors of wire, but I mean cheap. On here, line from breaker. So this is what's going in, hot and white. Strip gauge, 12, 14, couple wire only. Fly wire, move for 3-way insulation. Don't need 3-way insulation. Clearly label which was which. Packaging. All is fails. Read instructions. 1 wire to source, 2 ground wire, 3 wire to light. So, putting this to the power, tightening the cable. We're doing this in series instead of parallel. That part is good. Take our extension cord, replacement view. So, this one goes to white, ground, hot. And the common side. And tighten that down. From there, why not? Do not forget to use your wire nut. I just feel like splicing and soldering and all of that noise, in which case feel free. Myself, I do not. Oh, that came out. That is not supposed to come out of there. Loosen that screw. Go back in there. You could wrap it around the screw and then just tighten the screw around, but that works better with solid wire, and I've got stranded here. These wires are not behaving. Then because we are not, yeah, we're going to need the ground. So we'll put the ground in the switch. They always make these so much fun. As I relax inside while waiting for that, in case anybody's wondering, I did wire them up in series with each other, and I did a shared ground with the cable onto the switch and the GFCI power outlet, so that the breaker built in the GFCI power outlet could trip if it needed to, and then you can use it for anything and not just things that have a DC voltage. Hey. Alright, so at this point I've got it entirely assembled. I'm just waiting on that liquid electrical tape to dry, which is going to take several minutes. Then we're going to test it out on a circular saw. Stand by. Alright, so it's the next day, and I went ahead and gave it overnight for that liquid electrical tape to set. Got it plugged into the wall there. Got my drop light connected straight into that. We'll start it off on full on. Pretty dim, but still on. Looks a little weird because, well, it's not a very high quality camera, and this is not a dimmable bulb, but here you see. Remember folks, don't try this stuff at home. Maybe if you're a trained professional, and if you do, make sure you've got all the proper safety equipment. Have fun!